In this segment, I'm going to introduce the notion of circular self-massage, as I've referred to it already. I'll call it CSM. And we're going to start with a very subtle movement, the subtle motion of breath. Just as blood moves through our body and is our sustaining force, breath is our sustaining force as well. And of course, we all know how to breathe, but we can become more skillful in our breathing. And with that more skillful breathing, we can make all of these movements that we're going to explore here more beneficial, more helpful. So, you've got to join me in doing this. It's no good if I move and you watch. So, find a chair, sit down comfortably, and find your feet squarely on the floor. And I prefer, if you can do it, to have bare feet or in socks, because as we move throughout this, we're going to get a lot of exercises of the feet and so forth, and it doesn't work so well in shoes, but whatever works for you. Loose, comfortable clothing, particularly loose in the center here, so that your breathing can be relaxed. And in a chair that has a straight back, or where you can sit with a straight back. And hands comfortably in your lap, however you prefer. I like to have mine generally on my knees with the palms up. And allow your eyes briefly to close. A lot of these experiences are of the movement, the inner movements of the body. And I find that with eyes closed, I'm more able to focus on the sensations, what's happening in my body. So, just settling in and starting by noticing your spinal column, noticing if you're slumped over, you're scrunched down. Instead, gently stretch your body upward. Think of a string at the top of your head, which gently elongates the spine so that we've got an open column where breath can drop in and fall out. And once again, after the spine is erect, relaxed, but elongated, begin to notice the movement of the breath. Breath dropping in and falling out. And when I say notice that movement, it is simply focusing on the sensations in the belly, of the belly filling and then relaxing. The circular motion of breath, breathing and releasing. And you'll feel these sensations in the diaphragm, in the belly, slightly rising and falling. Breathing and relaxing, just tuning in to that gentle rhythm. A bit like the waves of the ocean, one wave gently following another. And you may notice, as you focus on the breath, it begins to deepen and relax. It sends a message not only to the belly, but to the whole body to release, let go. And a brief interruption. I'm going to use the word release many times in the course of these segments. So let's have a brief experience of the release, what I call the release response. Just tighten your fist, hold it tight, and let go. That's release. It's as simple as that. Now, of course, when you deliberately sent the message from your brain to tense, you had control over that. And then you have control over when you release. When the tensions are in our body, it's more difficult. So we have to be patient, gently sending the message from the brain to the part of the body to let go. So, once again, returning to elongated spine, breath dropping in. And now invite that relaxing breath to extend down through the buttocks. Just feel the buttocks releasing into the chair. Notice that by focusing your mind, you can feel the sensations in your buttocks of the chair. Sending the message, breathing the message of release into your thighs, release, and relax. And then focusing on the knees, this part of the body that we ignore so often until we injure it, send the message of release and relaxation into the knees. And this is a process of body awareness. So notice, as we're moving through these parts of the body, if there's tension there, holding, or if there's pain and stiffness, simply notice, invite them to release. And then down the legs, inviting, breathing in, release, down into the calves, all the way down to the ankles. Focus your awareness of sensations in your ankles. Breathe and release and relax. And notice if you begin to slump over in your spine, just keep the spine gently erect, breathing and releasing. And now into the feet. Again, this part of the body that gets so beat up in our daily lives, carrying all of the weight. Give it some TLC, some tender loving care, breathing, release, and relaxation. And if you want to wriggle the toes, just to make sure you're feeling sensation there. Breathing and release. And now, open to the possibility of experiencing the flow of energy all the way from your feet, up through your lower legs, ankles, up to the knees, up through the thighs and the buttocks, back into the belly, breathing and releasing. Even noticing any sensation from the internal organs, breathing and relaxing and releasing. And now, bring your awareness up into the rib cage, the area of the heart, gently circling the breath through this area, breathing and releasing. As if the breath could massage the inner organs, up into the lungs, up into the heart. We're not only focusing on body awareness, but a compassionate, accepting attitude toward our body as well. Breathing and releasing. Now up into the shoulders, an area where we carry a lot of tension, most of us. Just inviting them to release and sink into gravity. At the same time that the spinal column remains alert and erect. And now breathing down through the upper arm. Breathing and letting go. Inviting relaxation into the elbow. Again, a part of the body which we ignore so often until it's injured. Breathing and releasing. Down through the forearm, down into the wrist. Breathing, release, and relaxation. Noticing the places where there's tension or pain. This is a kind of a body scan, checking out how our body is today, accepting it as it is today. Down into the palms, the fingertips, just releasing and letting go. Breathing and releasing. And become aware of the energy of getting down from the feet up through the body, the legs, up into the torso, through the hands and up the arms, up into the area of the neck and the jaw. Again, a place where much tension is held. Breathing and releasing, keeping the breath easy, relaxed. Letting go of any holding in the jaw. Releasing the tongue, letting the tongue become heavy and relaxed in the mouth. Releasing and relaxing the muscles of the throat and the mouth. and feeling the release moving up the cheeks, up into the area of the sinuses, the nose, relaxing, inviting the facial mask simply to melt into gravity, letting go of any holding or tension. And if the mind wants to become busy and running after many thoughts and things, just gently bring it back to sensation, as if in this moment, living is nothing more, nothing less than feeling the body, feeling its sensations. And now bringing awareness up to the eyes, the area of the eyes, and behind the eyes into the brain, breathing and relaxing. And up into the forehead, notice if there's any holding or tension, breathing and releasing. And up to the crown of the head, breathing, releasing. And inviting release also into the brain, into the hemispheres of the brain, inviting them to relax, let go, release. And just sit quietly and enjoy the sensations of relaxation, inviting in the possibility of feeling the flow of energy from the earth through your feet, up your legs, torso, through the hands and arms, up through the shoulders, the neck, the face, the head, the brain, and out through the top of the head. One continuous flow of energy and circle of breath. Deep, relaxing breath. And this is the breath that we will try to maintain even when doing movements. It is possible to energize and move parts of the body while we remain in a state of relaxed, deep breath. And this particular activity, exercise, a kind of a meditative or centering activity, is something that you may wish to incorporate into your daily life. I tend to do it not seated. I choose to do it while moving on the elliptical machine, which is a different kind, but a very interesting kind of a relaxation experience, which I'll show you later in another segment. So, that completes our segment of the breath. You may want to sit and feel the sensations longer. Our next segment will move into circular self-massage, CSM, and the upper body. So come back and let's move.